Hey folks, hanging out with Giant Skeleton. He's got my back today. Today's episode is going to be a little shorter, but it's basically about the idea of what we as smaller creators can do to kind of stay connected with our fans and keep a positive relationship, but also not risk giving them necessarily the wrong idea, causing parasocial relationships to exist, and what have you. I'm not an expert, as I'm sure you've noticed in all of the other episodes. This is just me talking off the cuff about my experiences. So, I like to think I'm a pretty laid-back guy. I'm a really friendly guy. I get along with a lot of people. I like hanging out with people at conventions. I do make friends. I do connect with people. I do like to hang out with folks, including people who are just fans. If I'm at the convention, hell yeah, let's get a drink. Or yeah, let's chat in the hotel lobby or like the convention hall, whatever it is. I'm always for that. But it does start to get a little weirder when, say I announce I'm going to a convention and then suddenly I'm getting a lot of like direct messages about like how we need to drive together somewhere or we need to go to another location somewhere else. Or, I'll announce I'm going to be hanging out with this one friend at a restaurant and 3 fans will be like, oh, I need to come along. That sounds great. And it's a weird thing where like, I don't want to be mean because I do like most of these people. I don't dislike them. They're kind people. I genuinely appreciate all of their support and what they give me, like as fans in terms of like care and support again. But at the same time, it's like I want to hang out with my friends' friends, and you are a very friendly acquaintance right now. That's not to say none of my fans have ever not become friends. There are several friends in my life that did start off as just fans of mine. And that happens all the time. Sorry about the cicadas, it's Pennsylvania. And I was the idiot that was like, oh, I'm going to record this outside. Well, it's nice. Whoops. I could use a real microphone, but, I'm a hack. What was I saying? Yeah, I have made real friends with, like, many fans, but that's usually at the end of, like, a lot of talking and like a lot of hanging out at conventions, connecting online, legitimately having a lot in common, and like learning to trust them, basically. Because like I know I'm a nobody, but in the same sense I am a nobody public figure with fans, and some people in my life have been like a little obsessive, a little weird, someone that I wouldn't want them to know where I am at all times. And that's part of the tightrope walk, basically. Tightrope walk. Again, like, I don't want to ever be mean to anyone, and I don't think anyone should be mean to anyone, assuming the intent isn't malicious, which is, I feel, the case most of the time when it comes to this sort of thing. When it comes to, like, fans just, like, liking you, genuinely liking you, thinking you're charismatic and fun, and they just think they're closer than they are. I don't think that's something that needs to be insulted. I don't think that's something that needs to be, like, shoved down into a pit. But sometimes it might have to be something where you kind of have to tiptoe around it, avoid it. But if it does continue being a problem, you do kind of have to put your foot down and explain, like, hey, you're a great person, but, we don't really know each other, we're not really friends. And the problem with that is, you do risk losing a fan. Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing with OnlyFans. It's the same thing with any independent artist, any independent musician, independent filmmaker. A lot of what our fans like about the smaller creator is to be able to have that personal relationship. I know full well that a lot of people that are fans of my movies are really fans of me. They like me, they think I'm cool, they think I'm funny. And so because of that, I never want to be a jerk. I don't want to lose them as fans. It helps me eat, if I'm being totally honest. But I also, they're good people. Like, most of these people are genuinely kind, good people that I just so happen to not really be friends with. And 99% of the time, most people seem to understand that. The vast majority of the time, most people do seem to understand, like, hey, we are, we talk we hang out sometimes, but there is this kind of like small wall here where like you're the entertainer and I'm the fan, and this is just like a temporary thing where I get to have the more personal relationship with you, which is the best case scenario to happen. If that was always the case, no one would ever have any issues with this, but you know, stalkers exist. Again, obsessed fans exist, and I don't know the best way to always handle that. Again, like if it's becoming a real problem, you need to stop, you need to cut them off. But them having a misunderstanding may also not be a problem, necessarily. And that is kind of part of what this game is figuring that out. Again, you don't want to like lead anyone on, as it were, that they're closer to you than they actually are. You don't want to abuse a fan. You don't want to take advantage of the fans just because they like you. You do always want to kind of keep that line. And sometimes it's hard to keep that line. Now there's a plane, great. Sometimes it's hard to keep that line, because sometimes you are, again, like I'm really friendly, I'm outgoing, I like talking to people. It is very easy for someone to assume that they are closer friends with me than they are, and that's my fault. That's something I need to get better at. At the same time, I have done that too a couple of times, where, you know, I'm really friendly with someone, and I think we get along really well, and I think we're friends, and like it kind of turns out, ooh, we weren't. You know, they were just an entertainer, and I was just a fan. They were just being friendly, and so was I. Again, that's one of the takeaways I hope from this rant, is that intent to me is a big deal when it comes to this scenario. If it's just like a misunderstanding or a mistake and everyone's cool, it happens. Hopefully that's all you need to worry about. Hopefully that's all that happens, and you can just drop it. It's when folks like refuse to understand that it kind of can start getting scary, both like emotionally and also potentially physically. You know who some people really are, and I don't know. It's so easy to be like, don't talk to fans, cut them out, like never talk online, never talk on the internet, don't have a Discord server, don't mingle. But as I said, a big thing with smaller creators is that personal relationship that we can have with the fans. That's a big selling point, to be blunt. Big love to all my fans. But no, I mean, really, it's when people can have the personal relationship with you as an artist, that can be a big deal, because it makes them feel not only seen, I feel, but also like they're actually supporting and helping a person instead of a conglomerate. Because that's the thing. If people don't know me at all, if I was like a mysterious figure and no one knew who Steve Rudzinski was, there's at least a significant portion of people that now see much less of a reason to support Karis Hell or the Meowies. Because why pay for Karis Hell, this movie that looks worse, when you could just go see another Hollywood studio film? But if you know Steve Rudzinski, you know I'm passionate, you know, like I like to be silly on purpose, you know what my budgets are, you know how I work, you know my interviews, how I think about what I do, what my goals are, what my themes I always aim for are, and now you understand better what Karis Hell is as a, work of art, as a film, as a product, anything, whatever word you want to use. So I don't think cutting out fans and having no relationship with them is the right decision. Again, this is assuming, you're safe, everyone involved understands enough, or at least isn't malicious, has positive intent. But I don't even have an answer. I usually at least have some sort of explanation or personal opinion, and this video, I just don't have any idea what to say. I want people to know that I like them, and I do appreciate that they like me. I'm just not friends with everyone, and this just feels like a topic that is sometimes hard for independent creators. I know some independent creators have completely cut off their relationships with fans because of parasocial relationships. Trying to learn how to talk here. And like, if it's not getting dangerous, personally, I don't think that's the right call as a smaller creator. I think that those relationships are positive and important and good. So, hopefully we can keep that up and everyone is on the same page and everyone can, like, get along and be happy, but still understand those boundaries. And when that stops happening, then you're going to have to say something, then you're going to have to do something, and that's going to depend on, situation to situation. So, yeah. Well, thanks for listening to me rant about nothing and have no answers and no, like, actual advice. Just me talking. Worst episode yet. Fantastic. Feel free to put down write in the comments below if I wasted your time. As always, stevebuster.com, silverspotlightfilms.com. I do appreciate you folks tuning in, chatting back, listening to my random stuff, and always check out the films. I think there's a lot of good stuff there.